Hello and welcome back to EPIC43 with Intel. It is I, once again, Exo, and this time we have a very special guest, a former player in the UK scene.
Former?
A bit of a legend amongst
Legend?
things. Well, unfortunately we couldn't get him, so we got Sam instead.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. Who were you talking about?
Who's here?
The Muslim?
The Muslim, yeah.
AoE, the best AoE player?
The best AoE player.
Yeah.
So I hear.
It's hard not to look down, you know, at the stream, but hopefully people at home have enjoyed the stream. So
yeah, I know. I want everyone to know I'm really standing on my tiptoes right now to try and keep up with that.
Well, you said that you were going to slouch down, but I don't think you need to. I think you're getting pretty old these days, so maybe you shrunk. Stand up straight. Okay, yeah, you are a bit taller. Okay. That's not fair. How's that helping your Tinder profile?
It's not. It's not. It's like this is a classic thing that all tool guys do. It's like it doesn't help us.
Okay.
Even though, like, you know, it's like the short kings, and if you're a short king out there, congratulations on not having a bad back.
You didn't know.
I had no idea.
Okay, so the match coming up.
There's a match coming up.
Yeah.
It's going to be. Yeah, we've got the top 8 bracket as. Well produced by our producers over there. It's going to be Geralt and RIskY.
Yeah, PVZ.
PVZ. Yeah, we've had quite a few of those today, actually.
Have you?
Well, we've had Zane RIskY.
Zane RIskY, and I haven't watched anything else. So
that's 100% of your.
100% of my viewing experience.
Yeah, that was a really good series as well. In fact, we actually mostly were following Zane through his bracket run today.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah, because we did.
He played IBA.
And we played RIskY, and Richie Zane was on stream as well.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. It's been a really interesting series, really good games on stream so far. I didn't see the last Zane RIskY stream because I wasn't...
Yeah, I saw a bit of that. I think first game RIskY played like Swarm Host, Roach.
Yeah, I saw a bit of that first person.
Old school build. I remember beating you once with that build.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, unbelievable.
Used to be my classic, that did. And then... second game, it was like Lurkers. I didn't see the third game, really.
No, I didn't see much of the third game either.
But RIskY... He's pretty assured normally against Zane, to be honest.
He got the LAN power up by getting the lag sorted, and that seemed to have like motivated him quite a bit because he was down 0-2 versus Raza, and then they took a break to sort the network.
I feel horrible about that.
Yeah, no, it's really hard.
Well, no, it's not so much that. I turned up when he was 2-0 up, and he said to me, "If I start losing, it's your fault."
Wow.
And almost immediately, he started losing.
Unbelievable.
I don't want to say...
Do you know what? I actually feel like I'm a curse for T-Ball. T-Ball,
really?
Another legendary UK player, is not here. Because anytime I watched his, anytime his WCS runs, anytime that I tune in, he loses.
Really?
I'm really a bad luck charm for him.
Wow, that is
It
interesting.
feels so bad every time I watch him, and I'm rooting for him.
You know, it's interesting you say that.
Go on.
I've never seen Raza beat RIskY at LAN. In fact... I don't think I've ever been to a LAN that RIskY was at that he didn't win.
Oh.
Maybe I'm RIskY's good luck charm.
Maybe you're RIskY's good luck charm.
And Raza's...
bad luck charm.
Yeah, I don't think there's such a thing as a bad luck charm, but yeah, sure.
You don't think there's such a thing as a bad luck charm?
I don't know.
Surely, is luck not perspective?
Is luck important in Starcraft 2?
What, all skill, baby?
I don't think there's that much luck in Starcraft 2, actually.
All skill, baby.
I mean, you've never played FIFA, have you?
No.
Oh, let me tell you, there's a lot of luck in that game. Jesus, oh yeah, it's horrific. Poker as well. You've never played poker, have you?
No, I've never played poker, but I recently started getting recommended YouTube videos for poker. Yeah. And I've seen some interesting stuff, and I kind of don't know what happened. The best one I've seen is the... it's a guy... It's what do you get? A guy got a pair
cards?
Of queens. Yeah,
queens.
There were cards. There were cards in there, and that was amazing. There was cards. A pair of queens versus a pair of nines, right?
Yeah.
And then the draw. What do you call it? The 3 cards? Is it the flop? The flop was Queen, Queen, 9.
Wow.
So the guy had 3 9s, and he thought he had a good hand, but he was versus quad queen.
Yeah, that is
and then they do the bet, and do you know what turns up on the river? A 9.
Wow,
he had quad 9.
That is incredible. Yeah, I've not seen that before.
Quad 9s, and he was lost from the start, lost from the flop, and he had no idea. Oh, it's so brutal.
That is crazy.
You gotta take those when you get those.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
Oh, the first map has been made.
Yeah, so we've got Geralt against RIskY. This is the upper bracket final.
Yes, upper bracket.
This is a best of 5. And the first map is Oceanborn, probably one of the most standard maps, favoured maps in the map pool.
Yeah, everyone's been really appreciating this, the standard maps of the map pool. So we've mostly seen Oceanborn, Site Delta, Alcyone, things like that. Want to give a big shout out to Indie Starcraft as well, who's been restreaming all of Geralt's games in Polish.
Yes.
Yeah,
I did watch a couple of them actually.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm getting better with Polish.
Oh, yeah.
British people are pretty known for picking up languages.
Exactly. You know what? We're known as a very respectful bunch who are very appreciative.
Yeah, so Jez has just joined the game.
we're still waiting on RIskY, on Joshua.
See, in the game, I hate to point this out,
for
it. He does spell his name with a T rather than a D.
Yeah, but that's not the part we're struggling on. It's Geralt or Geralt. Huh?
It's Geralt, right?
It's Geralt, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Geralt.
Wait, you're saying it with a T.
Geralt, yeah, because there's a T.
But we're not saying it like that. It's
we not?
Geralt.
Geralt.
Okay. I can't believe you haven't resolved this before it's got to the final.
There's nothing to resolve.
How many times has he been casted at this event?
He hasn't been.
Has he not?
Because Indy's been following his whole thing.
So you haven't casted
So we haven't cast him.
Oh, wow. Okay. Breaking his virginity here, then.
I can't believe you
just
said that.
Doing it.
I can't said that.
I didn't think I'd be doing it with you, but...
no, I didn't think I'd be doing it with you, but, the day starts out...
You never know what's going to happen in life.
You never know, yeah. Hey, listen, got to take opportunities for a while you can. Okay.
Fair enough.
And, yeah.
So, we're just waiting on RIskY, are we?
We are just waiting on RIskY. And can you see him at his desk? The players...
yeah, he's there.
Okay, yeah. So it's a very lovely setup, this one.
He's putting some music on.
Okay, good stuff.
Rather scaringly, though, he does have Protoss selected.
Ooh.
I'm fairly certain that isn't what's going to be the case.
No, that's like his ladder screen, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, that's
he's doing what the rest of us are doing. He's playing Protoss.
Yeah, no, Protoss is a good race until you get to a high level.
Well, yeah, you don't want to play PvT.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
The other two matchups are a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah, no, honestly, really are. And I'm interested to see what we see from... So actually, outside of, the old WCS stuff, I've actually not watched Geralt very much. Certainly not recently. So I don't know what his kind of style is.
I can't say I have, but I also don't think he's been that active.
Okay, yeah.
I know he's still studying.
Yep.
Because I actually hit him on ladder last year, and we were talking about. He said he was still studying something.
Nice.
It might be medicine actually.
Respect. No, it's always good.
And I think there's just not been as many European tournaments to play in. Kind of.
Okay.
The problem is if you're playing like an EP, like the weekly cups.
Yeah.
You hit like a Clem or a Max
back, and it's really difficult, isn't it?
Pretty over.
Yeah, no, that's really hard to.
It's kind of. But yeah, I'm not super familiar with how he's. I did see him play a couple of games on Indie Stream.
Okay,
Against Figaro.
Oh yeah.
And most Protoss these days are very Stargate based.
Yes, was he not?
Not massively. He
he
opened Twilight, I think, both games from what I recall.
That's great because
definitely one game.
We've been watching Zane, and Zane, the first 4 minutes are always exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like, including Zane always goes in and gets 2 drones. Like, there's 2 queens waiting. He goes in, he gets hit, he gets 2 drones, and then he flies out. He did it, like, every game.
Yeah.
It was, like, so, like, precisely standard.
Yeah.
It's kind of how the matchup is.
It is a little bit, and it might go even more that way with the new patch if that goes ahead. But
interesting thoughts on the new patch. Hatch blocking is...
I still haven't tested it out, but I've just
been
been told that hatch blocking won't be possible with the mineral change to the hatchery, so
if they go for a 15 hatch, if they go for 17 hatch, it should probably still be possible.
Yeah.
But 15 hatch makes it completely...
15 hatch currently does get hatch blocked on some maps.
Yeah, only some, though.
16 hatch... I'm not sure if 16 hatch will be blocked.
It might be the 16 hatch. Oh, and RIskY has joined the game. And stream... Rawr.
I think we did pretty well there.
Yeah, I think we did pretty well there. What I don't know is... they messaged that 10 minutes ago. Oh, okay, well. They didn't message 10 minutes ago, I'm joking.
I know.
It was like that when I saw the stream note, the map lobby link invite come up, and I was like, "Oh God, how long has that been there for?" We've been talking.
Okay, and we're going into the game.
Yeah, upper bracket finals. You love to see it. And can I say, it's gone so quickly. This LAN has for me. Don't know if it's because I've been involved in the casting or not, but
have you enjoyed yourself?
I have. Yeah, very much so. Oh, okay. How are you? How are the mini map colors for you? I know you're a little bit.
They're fine.
Okay, good. I've been telling players to go red and blue, or I've been telling people that I'm telling the players to go red and blue, but they don't always do it. Yeah, okay. Well, spawning in the bottom right, it is the Polish Protoss coming all the way over and honouring our UK lands. It is Geralt. And I said it with a T.
You did say it with a T.
Yeah, it was intentional.
And spawning in the top left, playing for TSI, it's RIskY.
Yes. Yeah, you love to see it.
I mean, he doesn't have the TSI badge, but I assume it's still TSI.
Yeah, he's TSI forever, isn't he? Even when he was on other teams, he was TSI forever. Kind of like how Raza, even when he was on other teams, he was
it kind of gets in the blood, doesn't it?
Yeah. And like I say, it's always good. All of his boys are here to support him as well, and just to generally have a good time at LAN, you know.
Hatch gas pull from RIskY, and RIskY's definitely not here. He's not.
RIskY has what?
RIskY's still in the tournament.
I would say while we're talking about while we've got filling the early game moments, RIskY is on an absolute tear at the moment.
Yeah. I know, I had to calm him down a bit. He was getting a bit excited.
Yeah, taking out Figaro and Mix in the lower bracket. Really overcoming his own demons there, you know?
Yeah. Especially after his last LAN, which I know he was so disappointed about his results. So it's good to see that.
Yes, that is actually really a good point. Yeah. So, yeah, really happy to see that.
Bit of mineral harass here from Geralt.
And, again, what do you think we're going to see? Do you think we're going to see Twilight, or do you think we're going to see Stargate?
I think on this map, Stargate is pretty good. But I also think actually Glaives is really nice because you've got that space behind the third base that you can kind of have the warp prism and poke between the main and the third. This is one of the harder maps I think to hold.
And obviously this was a hatch block game, so yeah.
I know Geralt plays DTs a decent amount as well.
Oh, good. I like that. A man after my own heart.
I don't think he's going to play Glaives. I think if he does play Twilight, it'll be some sort of DT
I think this
build.
is Twilight. There's no. Oh no, there's no thingy starts of Stargate. Yeah. Okay. Well, nice and standard. So far, so standard. Again, if you are new to StarCraft in any capacity and you've seen PvZ, you know that this is the opening because we've seen it a lot today.
Yeah. Going to be a second Adept.
Yeah, I like the second Adept as well. You can pair them up and then send them in together. And it'd be very annoying.
This is interesting. Usually, if you play Stargate, you don't actually go for the hatch block. So he is kind of mixing up a little bit of a mind game. We didn't really get a good view on the cybernetics core. I would have been interested to see if he had faked the warp gate or not.
Okay, yeah.
But so RIskY.
I don't think he did. I didn't see it in the production tab at all.
Look at the production tab for RIskY. We've got a lot of links in production. This is going to be a link flood. This is something that you can do sometimes if you get hatch blocked. It's a little bit harder to scout if you get hatch blocked, just because the links are coming from two different bases. Right. But he is going to have to kill this Adept at some point because otherwise no third base is a big red flag, obviously. Okay,
and again, the Adept is cancelling. He's waiting around here like, well, if you don't want to take a third, what are you doing? But
there's no shield battery in the production tab.
Yep, okay.
This is going to be a link flood, by the way. We need to have a look on the other side here, Exo.
Here
at Mr. Exo. And there's no shield battery, but there's not a lot of links here, and there's not a lot of surface area.
Yeah, I almost think he kind of went in too soon. Because this doesn't feel like it's doing much. Because he made a third Adept and he didn't send the second Adept across.
I have to be honest, I never link flood, so I'm really no expert in it. But we've got drones on the third base, so.
Yeah, that's true. So the third base is dying. It's not. Hopefully this doesn't hurt him too much, but it is still 29 workers versus 37. At this stage of the game, Protoss is normally ahead, but not normally quite by this much.
Yeah, I mean, Zerg will usually get ahead around 4:30, but we don't have a spot or a queen. Oh, God.
Oh, it is painful.
Yeah, this is kind of what I said. Like, you can throw somebody off by hatch blocking with Stargate. I would imagine RIskY really thought this was a Twilight build.
Yeah. Especially if he'd heard, because him and Figaro are good friends, obviously. And if he heard that that's what he did versus Yasha.
Yeah, GG.
Yeah, it's going to be GG for game number 1, a quick 4-minute game.
Yeah, that was really tough. For RIskY,
probably RIskY is trying to play a really fine game, right? He doesn't want to have to. He's trying to cut all the corners he can get away with.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you always do, to be fair, with Zerg. But I think he just lost the mind game there, right? Like he obviously thought it was a Twilight because he would have either have queens in the main or a Spore. Not to have a queen at all is a bit unusual because you're missing inject.
Yes.
So, but to be fair, I didn't actually see the third base. Maybe there was Adepts poking there as well. We might have missed that or something, but yeah, a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, actually, I'm not 100% sure. Oh, and the second map is going to be Crimson Court, not a Zerg favorite map.
Is this the one with the
rocks on either
yeah,
side?
This isn't a great map for Zerg. I wonder how this got through so early. What's the vetoing process at this event? Is it ABAB or?
Yeah, I believe it is still ABABAB. But we are looking to go into the ESL format style of going VOVO pick.
I was going to say, is there a pick?
Yeah,
I was going to say, because this would make sense if it was a pick for Geralt. But
I can say at the moment I don't think that's come through yet. We wanted to get it changed for this event, but it didn't get changed.
We'll introduce the players, but actually I think I might have an idea on why this got through.
Oh, okay.
So playing in the bottom left, we have... I'm not actually sure what team he's playing for at the moment. Well, it is Geralt.
It's Geralt.
Geralt.
And also not sure what team he's playing for, if ever, is RIskY.
So I am not super experienced on this map pool, but the gold base is quite forward on this, right? So not this one, rather. It's not a gold base, but it's a rich
Oh, the
gas.
rich Vespian.
That is a very standard base for Zerg to take, and what you can do from here is
like
you can go Queen Walk.
Oh, and do you know what? If you look at the mini map here, you can see RIskY's camera.
Yeah.
He's queued this up as third, and actually he's taking
We need to keep a very close eye on RIskY's build order here, because this could also be some type of two-base Roach Ravager Ling type thing with the amount of gas that you have incoming. So,
So what's the advantage here? Do you take the high yield and one? Do you take one normal gas as well?
Well, he is going to take a gas, but yeah, I think you can you definitely take the high yield as opposed to taking. Obviously, it saves you.
It's
4
drones.
It's 4 drones with the extractor, so it's a massive saving. But also, it allows you to get the creep out really far for Zerg as well. You know, if you've got creep in the middle of the map after about 5 minutes, which you can have on this map. It's a massive advantage, and it makes things like Queen Walk so much stronger.
The build you were thinking, was it you don't get a gas in your main and you just get a gas here?
I'm not sure. I've seen some variants of it. I'm not actually sure on the correct build order, but it's something like that.
Okay, well, it looks like he is... Oh, no, I was wondering if he was going to go down for a third here, but actually just running it across.
This is fine. You have the extra drone here because he's built 20, so he's just going to keep it at this base until it's finished mining.
Okay, and meanwhile, on the other side, the Cybercore should be finishing up in about 10 seconds, and then we shall see what tech is coming in.
Keep a close eye on here for a moment, because you really want to see, RIskY's going to be looking at the cybernetics core, and he's going to be seeing, is there warp gate researching? And if it doesn't research straight away, then it's usually a Stargate. But of course, it can be faked. One of our players that we're big fans of is T-Ball. And he fakes the warp gate all the time and goes Stargate. So you can see there's no warp gate started, and the Stargate starts. So
so again, and I'm pretty sure that's what happened last time, because I didn't see it come up on the production tab. But
but of course
it's good to see it here. And now you can see it start. Now you see all these lights, little lights are on.
So RIskY should be... I mean, it's not a guarantee. Like, if you're playing on ladder, to be clear, if you're playing on ladder at home and you're playing Zerg and you see that, just kind of assume it's Stargate, to be honest. But it's not a guarantee at high levels, because the players will fake that stuff. Yeah,
exactly. That can be a crucial thing to show or to try and hide. Might be the better way.
It's just a little mind game in the early games of EVP, isn't it? You know, there's a lot of players on ladder that will start Warpgate straight away, and then they'll cancel it once they have the gas for the Stargate, because you kind of have like a 10-second delay there. Or maybe not even that long.
It's not quite 10 seconds, but it's a few seconds.
Yeah, and then they'll restart it once they can afford it after the Stargate. So it's something you have to keep an eye on.
Definitely so. Now we have the pair of Adepts coming out. So again, this is kind of what I assume RIskY was expecting last time, with the pair of Adepts to be out, and then the Ling Flood can go across the map. Because right now there is only one Adept in the wall, as opposed to there being 2 Adepts and only 1 Adept on the map. Which makes the Ling Flood potential way better. He does cancel that going into the main. But these Lings... Okay, can't get a decent run. Geralt chooses to save the Adepts.
I think that's wise,
Absolutely, I don't know why I said it like it was such a big thing, actually. Because it was kind of obviously the right thing to do, but...
Well, I know you're a big fan of recalling the probe a lot of the time, aren't you?
Yeah. I mentioned that in one of the yesterday's casts.
Oh, this is very nice for RIskY, though. He's going to get both Adepts.
Yeah.
But he will not get much more than that. The Oracle coming out just has so much DPS that those Lings wouldn't have got any more done.
Actually, very interesting. Some high-level discussion about the new patch for this is that this will actually be a buff in these situations. Protoss can take a third earlier and then get the extra energy on the Oracle, and then suddenly like this amount of Lings is really nothing to worry about, because this will have 100 energy.
I mean, thing is, getting the third earlier isn't always necessarily an advantage as well. I mean, Zerg at the start of Legacy of the Void used to do, 3 hatch before pull and stuff like that. But it was actually figured out that it's not actually the most economical opening anyway. I think the timing that Protoss get the third probably won't change very much, but I think what will happen is, Ling-All-Ins and stuff will be much weaker, the people that just flood Lings and try and crack you on 2 bases. I mean, if you're adding an extra 100 energy onto that Oracle, my God, is that going to be brutal.
Exactly, because at the moment, that's one of the real difficulties. Do you try and build a Void Ray to hold stuff, or do you actually get the Oracle and get a second Oracle and hope it doesn't run out of energy before all the Lings are dead?
Yeah.
Where now, even just one Oracle might be able to hold it just because it's constantly firing.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you were Ling flooding in the past, you just wait until the Oracle ran out of energy.
Yeah, you run in, you run back. Yeah, and it's really difficult. We do have some split harass here. We are going to be following the Adepts, even though there are 2 Oracles out here as well.
Well, I think this is something that separates Protoss players at the higher level. Like, if you watch Max Packs and if you watch Showtime, they will have, an Oracle in the main base that's poking constantly. They'll have 2 Oracles at another base. They'll have 2 Adepts at another base.
Yes.
And the amount of drone kills they get in the early game is sometimes so significant that Zerg just can't play in the mid game. But I mean, if I just press the,
do it.
You can see that Geralt has only actually got 4 drones, which isn't bad.
Yeah.
But
he's invested a lot.
He's invested a lot of APM, and he may still get damage, of course. But it's not the situation where RIskY can't play a macro game out of this. This is fine.
And that kind of defense is what really ends up hurting. Sort of like the that's what again separates really good Protosses from really good Zergs, and you'll see that even a good Zerg will start to struggle and fall apart. And once they lose a few drones, they get really thrown off, and it's really then hard to come back in. Yeah,
I think Showtime's one of the best. Max Packs is really good as well.
Yeah, Max Packs
for the European Protosses. This is not good for Geralt here. This is kind of what I'm talking about with the creep being so far out from that third base.
Yeah.
The Queens can really aid in any defense, but also you've got the constant threat of a Queen walk, which Protoss don't always have to deal with. You can see how active he's been in the middle of the map, clearing up the creep tumors, and that's because he's worried about RIskY making 66 drones or something, and making nothing but roaches and walking across with some queens and roaches.
Yeah, that is what Eba tried versus Zane on Ghost River actually. Yeah.
And here we go. I mean, RIskY would
pretty scary.
RIskY would rather have the creep further out, to be clear.
Yes.
In fact, he might even just delay a little bit here until he can get the creep a little bit further out and have some transfusers available.
So Geralt has been doing a very good job pushing this area back for creep. And obviously he's been making a lot of Stalkers and is now really focused on using those Stalkers aggressively.
Yeah. But you can see RIskY's adding Zerglings. I mean, that's kind of what you want, right? You want a mixture of Roach, Ravager, Zergling against Blink Stalker. He doesn't have +1 yet. Again, this feels a little bit premature. I'm not quite sure RIskY's set up to actually do this attack. Because he doesn't have any upgrades and his army's not even that big at this point.
Wow, fantastic cancel. Just as that volley was coming in there.
Yeah. He's got no queens with his army, so they're... actually, one of the Oracles goes down to the Bile. Yeah, that shouldn't happen. It's kind of interesting, though. Geralt goes for the third base at the triangle.
Yes.
Which kind of makes these pushes a little bit... I'm not sure if they're stronger or weaker, to be honest. I think they're slightly weaker. Like, normally, if you take it as a third, you at least have batteries and stuff up here at this point, which can kind of help a lot. Again, RIskY trying to get on top, but I just don't think he has enough stuff.
It has a lot more stuff rallying in, but it has some more stuff rallying in. I don't know if it's going to be quite enough.
He's trading pretty well. That's a bit of a move command there.
Yeah, I think he really wanted to get in to get the Biles deep, but I don't know if that was super worth it. Now Shield Battery does finish up, and he does seem to want to be targeting the Nexus with something, but doesn't want to focus too much DPS on that when he still has a whole army here to fight. Blink forward.
Yeah.
Loses a Stalker for it as the Lings now get in front, and the Lings do tank a lot of damage here because the Stalkers end up overkilling and wasting a lot of shots on them.
Yeah, it makes the Blink Stalker micro harder, I think. Yeah. But he does now have +1 range. I think in a perfect world, he probably would have gone for melee against Blink Stalker, but you don't always know that at the time you start the upgrade. We do have an infestation pit behind this. With this drone count, I don't think that can't be for Hive.
I was about to say, I wonder what that's for, because he's constantly been 14 more roaches. Yeah. Like, he's constantly making roaches.
There's no way that he's going to go to Hive off 60 workers. And the really good scout by Geralt, by the way, because he sees that there's no drones at the 4th.
Yes.
So he knows, okay, he's probably on 66 workers or something there or thereabouts. So he knows that, okay, I don't actually need to drone up any further, really. Like, he's going to drone up to like 78, which feels like a lot, but
actually, yeah, that's our Protoss is actually on 78 pros, which is quite a lot.
I don't think he wants to build any more, though, simply because he's not playing against a Zerg that has, 85 drones. Oh, Infestors. I like that. That's really cool.
Oh, he's going to try and lock down the Stalkers with Fungal.
Yeah, I really like this idea.
Okay, yeah. This could work. And now we're getting a real tug-of-war match here on this map, which I think is what the designer hoped it would be if you don't take down the rocks, like a tug-of-war sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is going to be massively about whether he lands. The Fungals are going to come as a big surprise.
Yes, absolutely. 3 on the way. Now, they don't... Now, do they start with enough energy nowadays?
They do indeed.
I thought so, but I wasn't confident.
So, the element of surprise here might actually be the big thing.
Oh,
does he see them? I think he sees them now, but the Fungal isn't as big as what he would want. It's not bad,
but even getting like 5 or 6 here, that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
But he has now used all the Fungals.
I think he's got 1 left. No? I thought he used 2. Oh, he lost an Infestor.
He might have lost 1, yeah.
He lost an Infestor, okay. He's now going Hydra Den and Hive. Okay, well, he's kind of...
16 more Roaches.
He's laughing at my analysis.
Yeah,
he's like, I can go Hive off 60 drones, it's fine.
Oh, mate, I can do what I like.
I do what I want.
I'm an adult.
He's building some drones.
Yeah, I think you kind of need to squeeze some out.
I mean, I just don't know. So this feels like a tough spot, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, only a handful of more double gas here as well. So really looking to transition out of this style, but I don't know what into.
Of course, you do have to remember he does have the rich gas, right? So like he is technically on 66.
Oh,
drones,
that was an interesting
that's a crazy blink. What was?
It doesn't get punished too hard for. I don't know.
I mean, he lost a. That was terrible. That was a crazy call, wasn't it?
It was a crazy call. I wonder if that was a misclick. We do have a Zealot run by coming up the top here. We'll see how that gets on.
Yeah.
RIskY has to come back.
RIskY's super committed across the map. This is terrible. This is not what he would have wanted to see.
Yeah, and focusing down the some individual drones there. Trying to get as much damage out of this as possible. And he's using that opportunity to move on into the map. We now have an Immortal and some Sentries, but Sentries use all their energy early. The Zealots do finally get... Oh, no, they're not quite cleared up yet. Oh, and getting on top of the bare Hydras is a bit unfortunate as well, because, okay, they don't actually go down.
Yeah, that's okay, I guess. I think that's a bit painful for RIskY, honestly. Disruptor's on the way out now as well. Not sure how useful that's going to... Oh, almost landed a massive
I was about
fungal.
to say,
jeez, that was almost huge.
I literally blinked, and
yeah, we are going to have Lurkers soon. We are going to have Lurkers very soon.
Okay, and the upgrades.
And actually,
plus 3 weapons.
Yes, yeah.
That's actually really huge.
If RIskY survives like a little bit longer and gets a decent lurker count, I would believe. But
oh my god, he got that disruptor at the last second. I thought we were on the new patch.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, it didn't do anything, did it? Yeah, he got a snipe on it.
Really, like I said, this is a game of seconds, and sometimes a game of milliseconds, and that was one of those moments. Because I think the fight goes quite differently if that shot gets off.
Yeah.
Okay, we now do have Lurkers on the low ground, but they need high ground vision in order to actually fire up here.
Yeah,
he
will be getting it. Yeah, the Ravagers can also pile up there as well. So yeah, that makes sense.
And that pretty much cuts off this base from being able to mine. Now we do have a few big disruption shots. He focuses down, but one big does go off.
Not bad though. I mean, trading off the disruptors is actually not bad for RIskY if he keeps doing it, because
you don't want the count to get really high.
Yeah, you don't want 5, 6, 7, 8 disruptors, and currently there's none in this. This army is actually trash if you look at it.
Yeah,
he's against Hive Tech Lurkers with Stalkers. This can't be good actually for Geralt. He needs to.
Oh, I need some biles at the back there. Yeah.
He needs to start taking either better trades or making a much more complex army. He's on 5 bases. He does have that kind of 9 o'clock base.
Came through from mining out the east.
He is on double robo, so disruptors are going to come out quite quickly. Okay. They actually build quite quickly.
We have a base race potentially going on here, but we did see the blue army moving out here, but he then comes pulling.
Stalkers don't kill buildings very quickly.
That is true, actually. Yeah. That's where I'm going wrong, huh? Okay.
I mean, Zerg generally isn't great in a base race either, but I think pure Stalkers ain't going to be too good.
Yeah,
the supplies are plummeting actually for both players. They're just kind of doing multi-prong and losing chunks of army.
I'd say it's very scrappy. Geralt is continuing to expand on the left-hand side. Picks off the Vipers. The Vipers are such a good unit towards this sort of mid-game and late game. So
it was a really good idea by RIskY. He wanted to get on top of the base, and if you can get on top of the base with a Viper, it'll be a really hard position to push. But he's actually just running out of units.
I was about to say, this is such a piecemeal army suddenly. And I don't know. It feels like you need to F2 and get everything together. You know, that's the classic kind of.
Geralt feeling so confident there, he didn't even use the disruptor balls. He's got 4 in the bank right now. It's 5 in the bank actually.
Oh.
And I think we're going to need a miracle at this point for the UK Zerg.
Yeah, I'm really actually confused at how this one sort of started to fall apart. You literally were sort of saying he was like, this is not that great an army, and then...
I think he just lost like chunks of it. He started trying to split stuff up, and to be fair, Geralt did the same thing. He was splitting off zealots and trading them out. I mean, to be clear, I think RIskY was behind for most of this game.
Yeah, because it was like 60 drones versus 60 pros versus 80 drones. That's not a position Zerg ever wants to be in.
Yeah, I mean, even if you look at just the bases, right, with 4 base versus 6.
Yeah, and the fact that Geralt has sent us here, expecting RIskY to have taken it,
says everything. Yeah. The one advantage, I mean, you have many advantages in RTS. You have economy. You have vision, you have army size, you have so many things. The one advantage RIskY does have is tech.
Okay, the high tech lurkers.
Yeah, but if you can't get enough of those, it doesn't count for much.
Especially this position. Now this rock's being taken down. I don't think RIskY can see it. You might get the audio notification if you're here. You can hear things a little outside of the screen range.
Yeah. I'm not sure it matters that much. Actually, he's trying to take that base. Yeah, rough spot here for RIskY. I'm not quite...
Link getting caught out.
The Disruptor count's also quite high at this point.
We also have another Zealot run by going through just wherever it wants. This base is going to have to be cancelled as RIskY is trying to muster a defense up. Has to unbarrow everything and still gets 2 lurkers there. Even with the quick reactions, that was kind of unfortunate. And this base gets cancelled. There was no sort of chance of saving that. RIskY is pushed back to his core 4 bases, and that's without his forward natural bases. He had it. Yeah,
he's just hoping to try and build up a big army, and maybe he can walk across the map and siege up a base. That's about all that's happening right now. Once he splits up his army like this, it's just too small to actually hold a position.
Yeah, and the Disruptors being so good actually versus lurkers.
Yeah.
I remember back years ago.
GG.
Well played to Geralt there. Yeah, I remember years ago I used to really favour going Disruptors versus lurkers because you could always get them on the edge of on the edge of where they could fire. You could get a disruptor ball, and it would like the far side of the radius would hit them, so you could be out of range and hit them. That might have been even before seismic spines. I can't remember. But then everyone kind of agreed that disruptors aren't really the way to play versus lurkers, and you don't see it that much at high level.
No, I mean, I think these days we see a lot more Charged Archon and Mortal.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of swarm it.
Yeah, and what's been common for a long time, back when lurkers were originally introduced, they were played against Protoss quite a bit.
Yes.
And people did play double Robo Immortal, and once you get to like a kind of a critical number of Immortals, lurkers just don't trade anymore.
Yeah. Especially if it's like any kind of wide open space that you can...
Well, yeah, I mean, another way to engage lurkers is just to come from 2 sides, because then they just turn terrible, if all the spines are coming from one direction, it's difficult for to attack into lurkers. But if you can surround them, there's a great clip of Cyril, by the way. It's an old one.
Oh yeah.
And he was playing lurkers, and he identified that the Protoss was going to surround his lurkers and kill them.
Okay.
And he said, he's not going to surround me, I'm going to surround him. And then he surrounded him with his lurkers.
Okay, wow, respect.
It's a great clip.
That does sound like a good clip.
Maybe it's still out there somewhere, but it's an awesome clip.
It probably is, but we are already loaded into the 3rd map in this best of 5, which, wow, already could be the end of it.
Yeah, this is Golden Aura. It's usually a good macro map.
Yes, I quite like this map. I've kind of said this on stream already, but I'll go over it again because I like it, and it's PvZ early game. What's a really interesting thing about this map is that you can kind of take the line 3rd, which is this one, or the triangle 3rd, but depending on how you want to play it, you can play kind of either this top side of the map, where you kind of expand further away and there's this huge middle ground space for you to get across to get to your opponent. Or if you play in a line, you can take a 3rd here and then a 4th here, and then this 4th base is actually very close to your opponent's 4th base.
Yeah.
As you come down here. And what I find a lot of players end up doing is they pick a side, like they'll start here and expanding up here, especially Zerg, and then they'll send run-bys down this way. and they'll swing down here and then swing into your third base like this.
Yeah.
And I really like that.
I really hope we get a third. I'm really rooting for RIskY here, to be honest. And it's not patriotic. It's really just because I want to see another game.
Okay, yeah.
But okay, so we've got another hatch block.
I would say, do you think that RIskY should be going for like 15 hatch instead of?
No, you can.
You just accept that you're going to.
I think unless you know, going for 15 hatch actually changes a lot of things about the build order.
Yes.
So unless you're really familiar with playing 15 hatch, then I think 16 hatch is fine. But also, I think on this map, I actually think you blocked me once when I was playing 15 hatch.
Yeah. Oh, so actually, maybe.
Even though it's a big map, I seem to remember that being the case. Maybe I'm incorrect.
I remember we tested some of these maps when they came out, and you were surprised at how many of them. Like
you can't get 15 hatch if you send the probe straight away. Yeah, and if you do get probe blocked with 15 hatch, it's a disaster.
Yeah.
So I mean, personally, I'm in the RIskY camp anyway. I prefer just a 16 hatch and take the third, and at least it's consistent then.
Yes, yeah, it is more
and
consistent.
You can kind of learn to play around it.
Do you think that because the new patch on the PTR will not exactly remove this, but I think you will always be able to guarantee to get a 15 hatch?
Yeah, I kind of wonder how it will change early game Zerg build orders because of the meal changes.
The lava difference as well.
It may be that 16 hatch isn't best anymore, and there might be, maybe 15 hatch with Overlord trick is always best. I think back to Brood War, and at one point in Brood War, doing the gas trick was always superior. But of course, builds move on, and nowadays you don't see the gas trick in Brood War as much because people learn just better ways.
Okay, yeah.
So I imagine it'll be similar after the patch, if that patch does go ahead. Of course, there's been a lot of public backlash.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that.
Yeah, of course, in our Discord we don't overreact.
No, it's been very calm and rational.
Yeah,
and nobody's really said anything.
No, no one's called names or anything.
No, absolutely.
No race has been called easy.
Literally never.
This is nice. Gets the crew streamer.
Yeah, actually gets the kill him because there's two of them. And now the Lings have to run back. And actually, there's not that much here. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually finishes it.
Yeah, this is caught RIskY off guard.
And even one drone here is actually really nice.
That's not the worst, though. He has the Ling pop out at the right time. The Zerg and speed finish at the right time. To be fair, this is a bit of a misstep by Geralt. He's obviously a very good player, but I question going with double Adept at this point when you know Zerg and speed is going to be finished around 3:30. That seems a little bit odd to me.
Yeah, I wonder what was the difference this game versus the other games where he decided to really commit, whether it was just the link position.
Well, I feel like, it's the Oracle across the map, by the way. I feel like normally...
Oh, no, the Oracle's there.
No, there's one already out over here, look. There you go. So that got no kills. Yeah, normally the Adept will dive with the Oracle, right? Like the first Oracle.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what he was going for, but it seemed a little bit mistimed to me. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, when I do stuff like that, I send the first two oracles to the I send the first two adepts to the third base, and you want the queens to be pulled down, and then you send the oracle in at the
a little bit. Yeah, that seems to make a bit more sense to me. I mean, two drones gone down so far. This oracle taking a lot of damage. This is the best early game we've seen from RIskY, and if you look at the worker count. Yeah. Around 4:30 is where it kind of evens up and the Zerg gets ahead a bit, and that's kind of what we're seeing. He's maybe a little bit behind where he'd want to be, but not too bad. Of course, this is a hatch block as well, so that's probably also factoring into it. But the hatch block has some disadvantages for Protoss as well, because it means they have that probe out a little bit earlier, which means less income, which means that the Stargate is probably a little bit... I don't actually know if it's a bit later, because you have the gas at the same time, but it must affect some stuff.
It does affect it a little bit. Because if you want to be really optimal with gas, there's a very specific pull-in timing you want, so that as soon as the Cybercore finishes, you just have enough. But generally, you have to wait.
Big supply block here for RIskY.
Yeah, it looks like he just lost an Overlord somewhere.
He was already short on Overlords anyway. He's making 4 at the time here. But
yeah,
that's
not
tough.
Feel good.
No, this is... I mean, you really don't want to be supply blocked in the early stages as Zerg because it just hits your drone production so hard.
Yeah.
And having drones later is worse than having drones earlier.
Exactly. I mean, you said it before, right, is that... and you're a big proponent of this, is that the lava... or the larvae economy of the Zerg is actually a huge issue.
Oh yeah, having idle larvae. Yeah,
and avoid that. That's what a lot of low-level players either don't understand or don't think about enough.
It's a really hard thing to measure. It's something that's never talked about in pro games either. But if you watch a top-level Zerg they won't have a lot of idle lava, and they'll be making drones like, you know, individually or 2 or 3 at a time. If you're a Zerg player and you're making 10 drones at a time, it probably means that you've had idle lava for a while.
Yes.
And
it's hard to catch. I mean, 15 drones actually in the production tab at once.
Yeah, which is of course the byproduct of the supply block.
Yeah. So it's hard to then like get back on track and get all your lava spent properly. We do see a Hydra Den and an infestation pit.
Yep.
So like before,
like
he's looking like he wants to tech up, but this time off of a much healthier drone count.
Yeah, this is looking far better for RIskY.
Yes,
First of all, he's got the +1 melee, which is going to be much better against the Blink Stalker that we're going to see. Secondly, he's going for the nice early hive that's really common these days, because you need the lurkers, frankly. You need the lurker upgrades.
Yeah.
And those are available at hive, so makes a lot of sense, this.
Also seeing Storm on the way for Geralt. It's really a fantastic spell in this matchup.
Yeah.
You really do see
well,
it.
Especially on this map, right? I mean, if you look at the amount of chokes that you've got available to yourself.
Well, interesting to see when... What I find quite interesting is that, again, Geralt is poking around. He's got at least 3 oracles. He had that squad of stalkers, which has now gone home. But I actually don't think RIskY overreacted by building units.
No,
he's actually...
I think RIskY's position is okay.
Oh.
I don't necessarily think he's ahead, but I think he probably would take this.
Yeah, exactly. And then the only thing I would be worried about here is that obviously Geralt is a very well-rounded player.
Yeah.
He's not going to be afraid to go into a late game if he needs to.
I mean, RIskY's even been able to skip roaches, which is really nice. And he's going to have lurkers building very soon. Like this build order, honestly, from RIskY looks pretty tight. Like hive and lurker definition at the same time. He's got +1 range now to probably add in a second evo. There we go. It's already actually in the production tab, so he's going to be getting that +2 melee, get adrenal once he gets to hive. Like this is classic ZVP like macro, and from Geralt's point of view. He's got Storm finished. He's not going to die. He's building cannons in the main, probably because of maybe like he's thinking of like Nidus, like Lurker Nidus or something later on. I'm not even sure.
Potentially.
Actually, are those just pylons?
Yeah, but this center one is a cannon.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah, I don't think he's worried about mutas, but that does seem like an odd choice. Maybe I guess he's only seen Lings. Actually.
I was about to say, he hasn't seen where the gas is going, so there's definitely a worry.
Maybe worried a little bit about mutas, but that would seem odd to me. I mean.
Yeah,
it feels late.
I was about to say, and at this point, if Zerg had spent no gas and then only built mutas, they'd have like 25, and it would be one cannon is going to help them there.
You have to say, Geralt's looked pretty solid so far at this event, hasn't he?
Yeah, like I say, he... who did he drop a map to? Was it Larimbo?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I think apparently it was Larimbo in the group stage. Okay. There's only one other player at this Epic LAN that has taken a game off Geralt in Epic LAN before.
Oh yeah? Who's that? Is it you?
It might have been me.
Oh my lord.
It might have been in an Epic one.
Wow. Impressive.
Do you not remember it?
No, I don't remember it at all.
Oh god, wow, I'm glad it stuck in the memory.
Yeah, no, I could not have told you that.
He asked me before the game what my MMR was, right? Because he didn't know who I was. And I lied.
Outrageous. Wait, what do you mean you lied?
I think I told him 6K.
You know what? Well, you said about it earlier. There is going to be, in fact, be a Nidus in the main. We are also seeing pressure on the front whilst this base is also going.
I love this.
Yeah, RIskY is now really going, hang on, you can't just let me do what I want because I'm going to hurt you.
This is fantastic. Even if I was about to say, even if the Nidus is empty, look at the response it causes. It causes Geralt to have to pull back 20, 30 supply just because of the threat of the Nidus. And he's going to lose the 4th base. This is amazing for RIskY. He's got 50 supply with lurkers at the 4th base. This is what he's wanted for the last 3 games.
Yes.
2 games.
Exactly, and he's been working very hard to get to this position. And now, like I say, he did his build order reasonably crisp.
Nidus in the main again, XO. I think we're about to see something pop out this time.
Oh,
this is where the reinforcements
baby, he's got 1 Hydra in there, baby. Let's go.
Oh, really? Is that...
okay, he's got 3 Hydras.
There we go. That's a bit more. You'd rather have lurkers in there to be fair, but of course he's just trying to be as aggressive as he can during this
just
period.
Like I say, cause as many fires as possible. Yeah, and now he can get out, getting a reinforcing Nidus to the 4th base, which is now trying to be retaken. There's more changelings than there is actual real zealots, which makes it very confusing.
I do worry that we've got kind of just... It's like 3 or 4 lurkers rather than like 12 lurkers, you know? Like
yeah. It feels a bit scrappy, despite how high the supplies are, you know?
But I also kind of understand it. He doesn't want Geralt to get into a position where he's got like a load of Tempest out and stuff, because that's what's in the production tab.
Yeah, and now I'm suddenly worried about this, that this offense is going too hard, too much. Again, we have another Nidus burn popping up here, but now those first Tempests are out. And Geralt might be able to stabilize here.
Oh, I think he has stabilised. I think RIskY's actually pretty low in supply. I'm not sure. I mean, Geralt's moving across the map, but I'm not sure if he. I don't think he's going to, because I don't think this army at this point is an army that he has a lot of faith in. And I think he would actually expect RIskY to have a lot more stuff right now. Little does he know, RIskY actually doesn't have that much.
No, yeah, and again, a lot of these High Templars don't quite have enough energy yet, so that's also another reason worth waiting. And we do have a little Ling run by, but it's not able to get in. A sharp warp in and a popped Immortal is going to prevent that. Creep Spread is looking quite nice, as RIskY does feel like quite comfortable moving out onto the map.
Yeah, we've now got the higher lurker count, which is good. Although
big storms on top of those as well,
It's kind of the downside of lurkers. If there's an army there, it's really hard to attack into them. You really need to get on top of the base. Where
and then force them to run into you,
Yeah. Lurkers are not great at breaking down somebody that's kind of just trying to survive a little bit.
Exactly, And again, Ling's trying to get in there, and they are going to force the cancel. I actually think that was a bit premature,
But this position is still fine. You know, RIskY's on 90 workers. What is he, like 6 base? He's got good tech.
I think he'd rather have a bit of more of a bank.
Well, I'm just kind of, I'm a little bit, he's down in supply.
Yeah, he's struggling to max out now. Yeah. He's kind of got the gas.
I mean, if he can get us around on this Protoss army, it'd be amazing. But again, because of the lurkers, because of the defensive nature of lurkers, Geralt can't really push in, although he is trying. If you have a look at Exo.
Yeah, let's see what he's doing there.
So we do have a Nidus that Geralt's probably not spotted, but this army, I think at this point, is maybe he's just going to start moving in. There's so many Immortals in this.
Yeah, and as we were saying, in that wide open space, you can actually kind of really quite easily engage into the lurkers with Mass Immortal.
Yeah, I don't think the Nidus has got anything in it, so it's kind of just sat there for the moment. Both players have forgotten about it. And RIskY's, he's not controlling his army.
It looks like he is starting to struggle here. He is doing some harassment on this new base here, but Lurker run by isn't able to do much. Meanwhile, a Zealot run by on this side, and now another Nidus worm popping up. But
Geralt does move back though. That's good for again. I think Geralt would expect RIskY to have a bit more at this point, so that's why he's not engaging. If he actually knew the kind of RIskY supply and what he's on.
Yeah, I think that would be the different thing.
I've only just realised that RIskY has 111. He's actually not using either Evo chamber.
I wonder if, like I say, he's been struggling for money because he's not been able to max out in the last little while and he's been bleeding out units.
I don't think that's necessarily because he's struggling for money. I think that's because they're constantly trading.
Yes, okay, yeah.
And he's constantly making units. Which is, I mean,
he's prioritising the units over making upgrades. Now 12 corruptors on the way.
Yeah.
Oh, these drones getting caught. That's a very unfortunate situation. Most of them should have been able to at least get out. Not much here to actually be able to catch the hatchery either.
No.
Yeah, it's going to go down. Might get the Zealots for it to trade at mineral cost, but the opportunity cost of mining is actually quite bad.
So much storming. What is that, 10 High Templar?
That is a lot of High Templar. Yeah, there's 10 High Templar right there.
It's Mass Immortal and High Templar, and this is kind of why we saw in the patch notes that Immortals did get a slightly.
Yeah, I mean, Immortals have become the backbone of the Protoss ground army, and they are very good at what they do.
Yeah. With the absence of the Banelings in the match, which were of course double nerfed.
Yeah.
It means that Immortals just became so much stronger, and that's kind of what we're seeing here. It's just pure Immortal and Stormers, and obviously the Tempest as well. But
the thing is that if you remove the Corruptors and the Tempest from this army, this is still a really strong Protoss army.
But RIskY is setting up first round. Can he? Can't quite get this.
Yeah, he kind of needed some to be up here as well, and then it would be like.
I mean, this isn't not good. Having the lurkers in a line there wasn't great. 14 workers did go down, and RIskY isn't really replacing them.
Yeah.
I think we might be seeing the
beginning of the end.
The beginning of the end here for RIskY and my casting career.
Unbelievable. Well, it was long and
it was short and not particularly
Well, we're not here for the valor. We're here for the games, and the games are being played. You really want to see it. I really want to. It is a shame. I really wanted. I felt like RIskY was going to win this game. I really felt like it was a good position. I was kind of getting hyped for it.
I think he was in a strong position.
And I like that he's continuing to try. I like that he's been trying to be very active, but Geralt has been so good at just deflecting everything and being in the right position, being calm and reacting to things, being able to maintain like this really core, strong army. Like
it's a lot of immortals.
Yeah, this is the sort of game you watch and you're suddenly like, yeah, why does Protoss struggle?
Yeah,
I mean, it's like the Zerg got to do what it wants to do.
The Zerg really wants. The Zerg really needs Broodlords at this point.
Oh yeah, okay.
The issue that RIskY has is the moment that he makes Broodlords, Geralt's just going to walk across the map and walk around them. You know, it's
exactly. And he's been so active, like say with this army. Now he's on the bottom side. A bunch of the units coming from the top are coming down, but he might even lose this base, or he's going to lose the Nidus. This base isn't really mining much, so Geralt can just leave it. He's not too fussed. Taking another base in the top, and again, it's hard for them to stop it. Is sniping the Tempests as they come out. That's really nice to see.
Yeah.
Again, don't want to if you can avoid letting that Skytoss army build up, that's simplifying the Protoss army.
Completely abandoning the upgrades from RIskY was an interesting choice. He obviously felt like he needed to keep putting resources into army, as opposed to upgrades. But it had kind of put in the situation where, I mean, I don't know what the units lost is. But I mean, in terms of the resources, I imagine it was. Oh, it says there. Yeah, I mean, massive. 25,000 to 12,000.
Yeah.
It's just
and
not
that's just in minerals. There's also an extra 5,000 in gas that's been.
And of course, when you're down so many upgrades, that trade gets worse. So.
Yeah. You do still have the corruptors being a little bit annoying over here. Yeah. This lurker might eventually deny this base. Oh, here we go. Okay, a base race might be the best case scenario here, because if you can get on top of the production. Suddenly that can, like, even having a lot of money doesn't help that much.
Geralt cannot attack into this position. There's too many lurkers here behind these rocks.
Yeah. And with a bit of a
oh my god, this is terrible for Geralt. I mean, I don't think he recalled everything. Oh no, he did recall everything. What a terrible trade for Geralt, of course.
Yeah, but he got money.
Yeah.
So while he's just able to clear this up in a very
he also had 4 immortals walking across the map. That's, I was thinking, where's his supplies? He had 170 supplies,
he had a lot.
and most of his army blew up. So,
but now RIskY is just so poor, not having that mineral.
So I mean that kind of went from 25,000 to 42 and 22. So it's not bad trade for RIskY.
It's because it counts the gas separately.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, this was still really extreme.
So that was actually a good trade for RIskY. He traded really cost effectively there, which against Protoss is really good, but. Unfortunately, when you're in this situation where you're already down quite a bit, you kind of need a bit more than that.
Exactly. He's going to try and snipe this base by doing the lurker sort of drive-by, and he might get it. But this is just giving Geralt time to actually get a proper, decent army together. And this time it's going to be Tempest. I'm actually surprised we're not seeing Immortals on the cards. Yeah, I would have thought these...
What does his I'm just going to press the unit tab here. So he already has he has 7 immortals. So
yeah, okay, well yeah.
Maybe he sees that RIskY is becoming quite link heavy, and the complexity of his army is not really there anymore.
Well, here's the Protoss army. He's going to trap in these lurkers because they can't really run anywhere.
Yeah.
And again, it's even if it was a cost-effective trade, which it wasn't, I was still a bad position for RIskY to end up in, and that's going to be the upper bracket final. Leading to the grand finalist, the first confirmed grand finalist, which is our Polish Protoss.
Yeah, probably not too much of a surprise.
Probably not too much of a surprise. Again, some people, myself, were saying coming in that, Geralt was clearly the favourite to...
Who were those idiots that didn't?
I don't know. Or I did ask some of the top players who were going to the LAN beforehand, kind of like, how close do you think it'll be? How do you think you got a good chance? And there was a lot of... this is a battle for second place sort of a thing. Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see now what happens in the lower bracket. We obviously don't have the live, I guess, bracket, but maybe we do actually. But
let's have a look.
It'll be interesting. I kind of want to see Ibba versus Geralt.
Yeah, we've had our production just switched to the screen, and here we have PattyMac versus Ibba has to play, which I think they're playing now. And Zane Gamer Richie, which I don't know what's happening with that match, which is actually a rematch of the upper bracket final we had just a little while ago. So it'll be interesting to see. And Richie is on an absolute tear.
Yeah. And both games are playing now. So RIskY will go down to that lower bracket final. So he'll either play PattyMac, Ibba, Zane, or Gamer Richie.
Yeah.
I think, are you hoping for Ibba? I know it's a ZVZ.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to see Ibba try and play against Geralt.
Yeah, okay. I see what you're saying. My only worry with that is that, did Ibba not play Zane earlier?
He did, but I have it on good authority that Zane was cheating that game.
Okay, you know what? Fine.
He was unplugging his keyboard and doing all sorts of stuff.
Oh, I see.
So you know.
Okay, you know what? Okay.
What was that guy doing at the EWC World Cup or whatever? He kept unplugging.
Oh
his keyboard,
I have no idea. That's a weird one. Here's what I want. I want to see the rise of Gamer RIskY and a PVT final. RIskY upsets, beats Patty Mac or Eba.
Oh, I mean that would be cool. Wouldn't
and then goes through RIskY. And then then faces the final boss of Geralt.
So there you can see the bracket has been updated. So I think the next game on stream is going to be that loser bracket final. So RIskY will play one of those 4 players.
Yes.
And well, the winner of that goes to the grand final.
Yeah, and that grand final is going to be on stage in about 2 hours' time. So yeah, we will be taking a break from the stream after we play the consolidation lower bracket match, which is that final one. And then, yes, we'll be going downstairs and playing on the stage for the big grand final.
Yes.
You excited?
Yes.
Yeah, you should be. You should be. It's going to be a great evening. And then the party starts.
No, I'm going home.
Oh, you're going home after the party?
Yeah, I'm going to drive
You're just here for business, for the Starcraft?
I'm here for business.
You're only here for the business?
No pleasure.
Ooh, you're going to be cold like that, you know? Well, have some fun. Let your hair down, you know?
No, I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a really good finals.
Yes.
And it's always fun to have the finals on the stage as well. Provides a different challenge for the players.
Yeah. And again, we want to give a big shout out to EPIC in general for always hosting these events and helping us out. Obviously, that is sponsored with Intel, who help and do really good experiences here. Like I say, there's actually been a zombie experience through the other room there.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, I'll tell you about it after stream because I've already talked about it a bunch on the stream.
Okay.
But yeah, it's really good. We also have Asus ROG, the Republic of Gamers, sponsoring us, and Overclockers. They have lots of little tidbits around the face. It's really good and really interesting sort of stuff to go.
Very cool.
So yeah,
well,
I want to give a big thanks to everybody there. And thanks for coming and joining me on Car.
Thanks for having me.
I look up to you.
Can I just say I'm average height? He's just some...
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
In Asia, I'm pretty tall.
Okay.
So,
and on that bombshell, we'll be cutting to a break and we'll be back shortly with the next match. Cheers.